Hey, this is Michael Sinclair here at Mystic Farm and Distillery.
And I'm Jonathan Blitz.
We started Mystic in 2013 here in Durham, North Carolina to produce the best bourbon possible.
This year we've made our first bottled in bond release, which is a real milestone for us. The 1897 Bottled in Bond Act was America's first pure food and drug law. Before we regulated flour and sausage and dairy products, we made sure our bourbon was very pure. And so the Bottled in Bond Act has 4 requirements for bourbon whiskey to have that on the label that it's bottled in bond. And the first one is that it is bottled at the distillery where it was made. It has to be 4 years old. It has to be the product of a single distilling season. So that distilling season runs from January to July or July to December each year. And then it also has to be exactly 100 proof. And those requirements are a real guarantee of quality, not just from the distiller themselves, but from the U.S. government, that bourbon has aged in bond under U.S. government supervision for all of those 4 years of the aging process.
So bottled in bond is really special because it's more restrictive of a regulatory requirement than single malt whiskey. It's more of a requirement than cognac as well. So it's one of the most restrictive requirements and really highlights the skill of the distiller during a certain distilling season.
And for distillers like us who actually produce our own grain, we're responsible for everything from the initial harvest all the way through to the finished product. And as Mike was saying, it's almost impossible to create a great product like that without really taking the time and care to do the process right.
I think also too for us, the bottled in bond is cool because for a small distiller, it really highlights us. I'm not picking through thousands of barrels to blend this blend. I'm a lot smaller of a window. So for me, I think it's more impressive as a smaller distiller to have such a great tasting bottled in bond release.
Yeah, and you figure there might be 30 barrels from that latter half of 2017 that we have to pick from. And it's exciting to see the range of flavors that we get. Even though we're trying to keep every process parameter the same, we have that variation that comes from the barrels themselves and the aging process and just the little variations in fermentation and cuts that you inevitably get making a product at a small scale like this day in and day out.
So the process for us for bottled in bond, we went through about 35 different barrels from the end of 2017, tasting each barrel individually. We then selected out of those 10 barrels that we really liked the flavor profile on and started blending those barrels together. So in that process, we found 4 barrels that complemented each other very well. We had a barrel that had a lot of berry notes in it. We had another one with some pear, another one with a great spice, caramel, vanilla notes. And then our last barrel had this really great mid-palate kind of fullness that it added to the overall flavor profile. So it was several weeks of tasting and blending and really highlighting that 2017 production that we did with just a really amazing bourbon.
So once this product was blended up, I was just stunned at how wonderful it turned out. I was really proud of just looking back at all the time and effort we've spent producing it and aging it. And then at that point, it was time to bottle. We have an all-volunteer bottling crew here at Mystic. It's something we've had almost since the beginning. First, it started out with just our friends and family helping us bottle, and then slowly we started to invite more and more folks, and then we created our formal volunteer bottling crew. And each bottle of our products that you get are hand bottled by volunteers. So we're very proud of it, and we hope you enjoy the Bottled in Bond release. It's our first one, and we promise there'll be many more.